So we're going on a walk in the park, the most beautiful park with tons of trees, different trees. Like, I don't know how many different types of trees there are here. This is the first cool day in a while. It's been like 105 plus, which being from Arizona, I'm used to it, but still this is like lovely. It's like 80 degrees right now. Perfect. So I would normally be going on my run with my run club. But sorry, my camera angles are gonna be funky as I try to manage the leash. But I cracked a rib, fractured a rib, doing yoga, demonstrating a yoga pose, an arm balance. And it wasn't even, for me, anything like unusual, but just the right amount of force, I guess. So I'm off of running for a little bit. So walking it is. I started my, not necessarily a new job. I started working again after having the summer off from seeing high schoolers. So that's been an adjustment, a couple days a week, but it's going pretty well. We played a game today. Let me back that up. We didn't play a game. It is a game, but we didn't play it as a game. Kind of a Q&A. And one of the questions that came up was, and this Q&A is used to be a conversation starter. And one of the students pulled a card that read something to the effect of, if you could build a soundtrack for your life, what song would you choose to really represent where you are right now? And I thought that was a really interesting question, and it got my client thinking, and it also got me thinking. And something that came to mind, well, I could have a song for different seasons of my life. I would say where I am right now, and it might be a little bit cheesy, but Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Like, I have gone through a stage with Mr. Rogers of reading the books, of watching the movie, watching YouTube videos about Mr. Rogers, because he just emanated so much peace and patience. And I want to also emanate those values, those characteristics. And for the most part, I do try to keep those principles at the forefront, especially when I'm like working with my clients. But even outside of that, how do I move through the world? And, you know, Mr. Rogers got a lot of pushback. People thought it was fake, or that worse, like something was wrong with him in some way, that, you know, he just wasn't genuine, or that he just wasn't genuine. But those who knew him described him as genuine, that was who he was at his core. Or maybe it's who he wanted to be, so it was a practice. And so it's something that I want to do, is to practice being more like Mr. Rogers and seeing the good in others. Really modeling what I want to see in the world. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and the interviewee was talking about climate change and how rather than everyone trying to fix Mother Earth, instead really focused on themselves and making changes in their lives that would in turn benefit the healing of Mother Earth, that's what we should do. Heal ourselves, to heal the collective, to heal Mother Earth. And that's what is the saying? Buddha says, be the change you want to be. That's not what he said. He said, be the change you want to see in the world. And that's exactly what it is. Like, we have to change those things in us to have that ripple effect to those around us. And that circle just keeps getting wider and wider and wider. But just think, if everyone really was healing themselves, if everyone thought of the greater good not just for themselves, but for those around them, and held that idea, and then had an action around that, oh, what a wonderful world it could be. Oh, let's see, we got a little visitor right there. Can you see it? Hello. Hello. Let's see if I can zoom in. It's wagging its tail. Oh, and he's talking. He's a talking. Hello. I don't have any food. He really is talking. That's so funny. He's chirping at me. Can you see him? So anyway, that's kind of what I had on my mind today. Thinking about how we can heal ourselves. And we can all use healing, right? We all have something in our lives that has affected us in some way. How we walk through the world, how we see it, how we see other people. So my question to you is, if you could build a soundtrack for your life, the stage that you're in, maybe right now, or maybe it's all encompassing of your life, what song would be your theme song? Let me know in the comments below. It doesn't have to be as cheesy as Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you be? Oh my God, if I put this in there, my daughter would absolutely kill me. This is not about her. Till next time, live well, be well.